The transition movement is going from this consumeristic society that we live in and transitioning to a post-fossil fuel society where we live more fully, more sustainably, happier, in a better economic situation than the one we're in now. You find a lot of people in the Transition Houston group that come out of oil and gas and petrochem and all that. It's kind of fascinating because, you talk to a lot of people who aren't in those industries and you'll find out that they sort of buck the ideas of climate change and people and all that, but the people who are in those industries tend to think otherwise.
I'm a retired geophysicist. I worked for a major oil company here in Houston and also in New Orleans, and I was in exploration and development. We moved to New Orleans in 1991 and lived there for about 14 years until Katrina. With Katrina and some of the other storms that came after that, we really became aware of the need for resilient societies and communities, because I could see what effects there were when you had a major disaster like that, and how some communities could respond to that because they were very tight and well connected, and maybe some others not so well. Trying to bring communities together can actually be a response to peak oil and climate change.
On the Transportation Action Group, I help organize speakers for meetings concerning transportation. Right now we're trying to line up someone who's going to teach you how to change your bicycle tire and do some basic repair work so that more members of the group will feel comfortable riding their bicycles regularly and hopefully start using both public transportation and bicycle and walking as a form of transportation instead of just driving a car everywhere.
For instance, we have Transition Jaffet Creek, which is a very small community, but they have things like an egg co-op where they're raising chickens and eggs together. They have a cob oven so they can share food together. They have bonfires on a monthly basis at the full moon when the weather's cool enough.
We started at a community garden, and it was on the 350.org 10-10-10 Global Work Party. We got all these people together, and we went in and cleaned out this garden. We planted 18 fruit trees. We cleaned out the beds. We amended the beds with horse manure and other amendments. And then we basically just had a big party, and we had some local cater it and had a really good time. And I think we had about 55 people show up to that. That was our first event ever. So it was very exciting, and since then we've had 5 more.
I think that almost everybody these days are feeling some concern or uncertainty about the economy, and they're starting to understand, I think, and at a very deep level, how perhaps happiness no longer is going to be able to come from having more and more and more and continual growth and continual acquisition of things. But happiness and satisfaction is going to come from connecting with members of your own family, members of your neighborhood, forming community with other people.
I think that's the beauty of the transition initiative, is that it scales it down to a personal level. It makes you feel like you can really do something all on your own, and when you find more people in the community that would like to do the same things you're doing, you start to see that ripple effect happen before your eyes. It's very inspiring, it's very motivating. So the scale of the challenge is enormous, but there's such a big hope with the transition movement.
One more ride